With that, I will start my talk on open banking. Open banking is an area where Canada should be focused. Canada has, as I've stated numerous times, has a productivity crisis. We are set to be one of the lowest productivity countries in the world. In fact, we're on a trajectory, if this continues on this path, where we won't even be considered an advanced economy anymore because we have such low levels of productivity relative to the United States and other countries. Open banking gives us is low-hanging fruit. It's a relatively easy fix for this government to lift up our productivity, and I'll unpack what I mean by that. But first off, I want to talk specifically about the member from Bay of Quinty's private members bill, which will force the government to do a couple of things. One, within 6 months to implement open banking, and secondly, to make public a report that was produced by for the Finance Department. These are absolutely critical steps to pushing this along. But so what is open banking or consumer-led banking? Let's start there. So that is the ability for clients to own their own data and to move their own data to the financial institutions that they choose. Currently, we have a system of transferring of data within financial institutions that is not much above an abacus. And it actually involves the transfer of paper, the physically of bringing documents and transferring your data over to other financial institutions. What this does is it creates barriers for people to transfer their financial data from one institution to another. And so I'm sure, as most Canadians out there, on my online banking, I have a number of payees. I have a number of information that is saved on there. It would take me literally hours and hours and hours to rebuild that data and put that data onto another financial institution. And so what that does, it creates a barrier so Canadians don't shop for the best rates. Ultimately, the answer, and I would disagree with my colleague who just spoke prior. We have a little bit different, although I respect him, we have different perspectives, but we want to get to the same place. And it's my heartfelt belief, and I believe most conservatives, that competition is the way to bring fairness to the banking system. It's ultimately by having a level playing field where we have small players, big players, medium-sized players, all competing for Canadians' businesses, where we will have success. And so what open banking does is it structures that playing field. And well, I would disagree with the member that we don't need direct government intervention. What we do need is government to set in place the legislative framework for institutions to be able to compete fairly. And so in the failing of doing that, what you actually have is you have a cumbersome system where Canadians can't transfer their financial data, which means that if you get that bill from whatever major bank and you see that your fees were $35 or $50 for a fee and you think that that's unfair, in an open banking system, you'd be able to, with a couple clicks of the mouse, be able to then compete and make those banks work for your business as opposed to you working for them. Everywhere that open banking has been tried, it's been tremendously successful, and in a number of fronts. One is affordability. As I said, it will naturally, competition is the magic elixir, is that magic pill that will fix many ails in the economy. It makes businesses compete for your business, lower costs, improve services to deliver better value. And so in an open banking system, everywhere it's been tried, it has driven down the costs for consumers. Canadians pay billions and billions of dollars every year to financial institutions. And for that, they are relatively to their competitors across the world are not, in my opinion, getting best value. And in order to increase that value, to get that better value, we need to enable competition. And right now, as I said, the cumbersome system of data transfer is preventing that competition from occurring. The other thing that happens is I actually believe it could be great for our banks and great for our financial institutions because it makes them stronger. It makes them compete. And ultimately, we want Canadian businesses, large, medium, and small, to succeed not only here in Canada, but across the world. And if they are put in an arena here in our country where they become stronger and better able to compete globally by having strong domestic competition, they are then strengthened and are able to bring some of that great Canadian know-how, some of that great Canadian entrepreneurship across the world. The other area where it will help our economy is with respect to entrepreneurship. So right now in Canada, as I said, we are unfortunately one of the lower productivity countries in the OECD and forecast to be one of the lowest for the foreseeable future. Just to give you an idea of that, we measure it by GDP per hour per worker is the general stat, the metric by which it's measured. Canada is down around $50 per worker. The US would be at 75. Countries like Switzerland would be up over $100 per hour per worker. So we have a substantial problem. One of the issues that we have is, of course, competition, what I've talked about, but also growing our new and small businesses, our innovators, to take that next level. The challenge is that they often, in the Canadian financing ecosystem, find it challenging to obtain proper financing, to grow from that small business, that idea, into a big business. And what happens is many of those small businesses actually have to leave our country to attract the financing they need. They go all over around the world, of course, most notably to Silicon Valley down in the United States, but all over the world where they can attract more capital. Now, what open banking does is it allows greater transparency at the request of the business or the individual, which gives the bank or the financial institution or the lender of any sort greater confidence in lending that money out to these institutions, and it gets it to them quicker. The idea is because often, especially in the tech space, technologies like artificial intelligence are not changing by the year or even by the month, even by the week. It's a daily thing, and so you need to get that financing, that cash, those businesses, as quickly as possible. And currently in the financial ecosystem, we hear story after story that innovators are not getting that capital quickly enough. Just to give you a quick story of a friend of mine, is an individual who came over here to Canada as a refugee from abroad. Actually went and got his PhD and was in the IT field, and desperately wanted to give back to a country that had given so much to him. And it broke his heart that he ended up having to move to the United States because there just wasn't the financing for his idea. He went on to be in the top. He was number 7 employee in a company that went on to be worth billions of dollars, and that could have been done right here in Canada. So I think this is a fantastic bill. I think the member from Bay of Quinte has done a great service for his community and for Canada. I believe that we should have unanimous support, get this bill through as quickly as possible so that we can increase the competitiveness in the Canadian economy and to improve the affordability in the Canadian financial sector. We owe it to Canadians to get this done and get it done quick.
For her.